Hello students, good morning to all. So today we will continue our revision of lesson 6, that is the computer network. Now in the last class we have discussed about the network and the advantages of network and the some and today we will discuss about the network components. So see, one of the network component is the server. So students, this server is a very powerful computer. Server is also a very powerful computer, that is one type of CPU only, which has a very high speed and a great processing capability. So there can be multiple servers in a computer network. So servers can link the other computers or electronic devices together to provide the important services to both the private and public users. So these multiple servers we are using, and these servers links different computers or electronic devices together. Means like the printer, scanner, which we have discussed, all these are also connected with the server. Example you can take when you enter a query in a search engine, means in a Google, and this query is sent from your computer over the internet to the servers only. And this server stores the relevant web pages. So after processing your request, the servers again give the response by sending that web page code to the computer, to the client who has sent the request. Now the results are sent back by the server to the computer. It is always advised to have server with a dedicated functionality such as web server, print servers, and the database servers. Means advice is given to use the dedicated servers only. Shared servers, what the efficiency of working of the shared server will be less. That's the only it is advised to use the dedicated servers. Next is the client. A client is a computer system. Client is the computer system, means client may be a mobile and which uses the network. Client use the network services to access the remote service from the server, and this client is also called a node, and this client is also a computer. It can be a mobile, it can be a laptop, it can be a node, it can be a notepad. Next is the component network interface card, NIC. This is a small computer hardware. NIC, you can see this is a NIC, diagram of the network interface card. So it is needed. If NIC is not present in the computers, you cannot communicate over the internet. So this is a small piece of computer hardware which facilitates the communication between different computers over a network. So the NIC identifies every single node in a network by providing a unique physical address. Now this network interface card contains a physical address that is called the MAC address, media access control, of 48-bit. So this address is stored on a chip. This address is stored on a chip on this card, which is mounted on the card, that is called the NIC card. Next is the mode of connection. So computer networks can be classified on the basis of both the hardware and software technology. So which used to interconnect the individual devices in a network. So what we need: optical fiber, Ethernet, wireless LAN. All the nodes in the network are connected through basic hardware component. That's such as NIC, bridge, hub, switches, and routers. Without this, cannot be connected. So we need some components to establish the connection. So maybe the computer can be connected with the help of the NIC, with the help of the bridge, with the help of the hub, switches, and routers. So we'll discuss this also. These hardware components are further connected to each other by the cable. Now these switches, routers are connected with the help of the cables only. Nowadays we are getting the wireless routers also. Now this is the modem. This modem enables you to connect your computer to the available internet. How? This internet over the existing telephone line. Modem is used to connect the computer over the telephone lines. So if you want to connect your computer over the telephone lines, we use this modem. Modem is called modulator, demodulator. Since this modem carries the analog signals, and but computers are generating the digital signals. So first of all, this modem will convert the computer's digital signals into the analog signals, and after that it will transfer over the transmission line over the phone lines. Now, at the destination again, the computers have the modem, and that modem will do the demodulation work. It will convert that received analog signals from the telephone line into the digital signals again, and now that digital signals will computer will be able to read. So the internal modem and these modems are available in two categories: internal modem and the external modem. Internal modem carries a separate part that is installed on the PC only. PCI, it is called the peripheral component interconnect. Slots available on the motherboard. And external modem is externally connected to a computer. Suppose your computer does not have an internal modem, so you have to purchase an external modem, and with the help of that only you will be able to establish the communication over the network, internet. Next device is the hub. This hub is a networking device and it is used to connect multiple computers and computing devices directly to the network by using the cable. So with the help of the cables, we connect different computers with the hub. Now hub is a mediator through which each computer can communicate. Now each connection here is called a port. Here you can see one, two, three, four, five ports you are seeing. So means with this five port you can connect five computers. The connections are established using a optical fiber cable. So hub receives the data at one of its port, it receives the data in the other ports in the network. So through one port it will receive the data and through the other port it will send to the network. Typically hub sends all the data it receives to all the connected ports. One thing is there, but it sends the data to all the connected ports only. Means it is not intelligent. So whatever the information computer A will wants to transmit to computer B, so that information will be transmitted by the hub to all the computers. Suppose five computers are connected with this hub. So if computer A will send information to the hub, so that hub will share all that information to the other computers also, other four computers also. So this is the oldest technology. Nowadays, no one is using this hub. Next is the switch. Now it is some intelligence it is given. Switch contains many ports. You can here also see many ports are there. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8 ports. That is the 8, 16, 32 port switches we are getting. So in this switch you can connect 8 computers. So switch contains many ports to connect different network segments. And just they are also similar to hubs but offer a greater performance. Here when the network contains a large number of devices, switches are needed instead of hubs. So if you want to connect large number of computers, for that cases we are using the switch and to make sure the communication between the devices do not slow down. Unlike hub, switch is aware of the addresses assigned to each of its ports. Now here this switch is assigned the addresses, a unique address to each of the computers. Now each port has a unique address. Suppose now this time here, computer A wants to send the data to the computer B, so switch will send to the B only because switch has the address of the B. Now it will not be shared to C, D and E, but here in the hub, if the computer A is sending data to B, so that data is also shared to C, D and E also. Okay, so that's why we are telling this intelligent hub is the switch only. Now we'll see the repeater. This repeater is a communication device. This repeater is a communication device and it is used to regenerate a signal. So whenever we need to transmit the data to a long distances, so in between some repeaters is applied. Because whenever the data, this electronic signals travels, so after covering some distance, the signals gets weakened. So to regenerate the signals so that it will move far distances. So in between we are providing these repeaters. So it receives the repeater, receives the electronic signals, it cleans them, it removes, it filters the signals because in the air or maybe in the cable through which this is covering, data is traveling. So maybe it will mix up with some noise. So and retransmit them. Signals tend to distort when transmitted over the long distances. Yes, whenever the signals are traveling to a large distances, so signals get distort. It means weak. It becomes weak. Repeaters are needed so that the signals can travel longer distances with the same strength. So it provides the energy. Repeaters provide the energy to the signals so that it cover again a large distance, even at a higher power. Now next is the router. This router is a communication device and that is used to connect two different networks. So router is used to connect different networks. Suppose LAN is there or WAN is there, so different networks they are connecting with the help of the router. But here these switches are used to connect the same networks. But if the networks are different, so we use the router. Router plays a vital role in controlling the traffic and keeping the network line. It chooses the best route for the data packets and to be transmitted at the receiver's end. Router also intelligent. We can say it is more intelligent than the switch router because it takes the shortest path to transmit the data. Maybe suppose if I ask you to send the information to the Lucknow and you are suppose that you are living at some place. Now from that place you will try to take the shortest route. So similarly here, so you take the decision to which route I will follow. Similarly, this router also takes the decision before transmitting the data that it will follow which route. So next is the gateway. Gateway is also a networking device. So this gateway is a network that acts as the entrance to another network. So through one network to the different network, if you want to connect, so we use this the gateway. Means a gateway is a network point that acts as an entrance to another network using different protocols, thereby giving us freedom and convenience to enjoy online. Suppose you have transmitted data with the help of the 2G network. Now, that data, what you have transmitted with the help of the 2G network, that you want to transmit to another network, which is of 4G. So, to connect the data, means to transfer the data of the 2G network to the 4G network, because every network has some its protocol, some rules and regulations. So this gateway will first change this, translate this data according to the compatibility of the 4G network, and after that it will route to the 4G network. So that's why the gateway is needed. So it allows us to carry out the various online activities such as the sending mail, browsing through web pages, buying things online, and more. It is a shared connection between the local area network and the large system WAN. So this basically works as a messenger agent. This gateway is an agent that takes the data from one system. It interprets it. Interprets it means it translates it. It translates it according to the network to which the data is to be transferred. So if suppose 3G data is to be transferred over the 4G network, so it should be interpreted from 3G to 4G and transfer it to another system. It is also called a packet converter. Yes, it is converting the packet, which I have discussed. The gateway is used to convert the packet from one technology to the other technology, from one network to the other network. Next is the bridge. Bridge is a repeater. Bridge is a repeater with add-on functionality of the filtering content. So just like a repeater only, but some extra feature is given that it can filter the content by reading the address of the source and the destination. It is used to interconnect two LANs working on the same protocol. Yes, bridge is used to connect two LANs of the same protocols, not different, and provides the communication between them. It also prevents unnecessary traffic from entering to the network and reduces the congestion. Next, we will discuss about the transmission medium, is how which cable with which medium all these network devices will be connected. So some different medium is needed. So data can be transmitted from one location to another with the help of the wire only, or maybe wireless also. So two types of media is there. That is the guided media or unguided media. Wired media is called wired media or wireless media. So guided is called the wired media. Now the Ethernet cable is the wired media. So Ethernet cable is the most popular form of the network cable used in the wired network. This cable resembles a phone cable, but it is larger than the phone cable. It has 8 wires. Ethernet cable has 8 wires. These Ethernet cables connect various devices like the PC, routers, and switches within a local area network. You can see in the lab also many computers are connected with this Ethernet cable only. It has a RJ5 connector. This switch is called RJ5 connector. So the advantage of this cable is that they have less power consumption. But the drawback of this cable is that the computer requires the Ethernet adapter card on the motherboard. If the Ethernet adapter card on the motherboard is not there, so you cannot connect this cable. That's it. Today we are discussing about Ethernet adapter card on the motherboard to connect to the Ethernet cable. Or at the backside of the CPU, you can see. These cables have their limitation, both in the distance, they can stretch and their durability. At a large distance, you cannot use the Ethernet cable. So there are two types of Ethernet cable. One is the crossover cable and the other is the straight through cable. And this crossover cable is designed for connecting two computers without a hub or router. If suppose you do not want to, if you want to connect two computers directly without using the hub or router, so we use a crossover cable. And another is a straight through cable. So this cable has both its ends identical to each other. and it is used to connect the computers with the router or switch. So if you want to connect your computer with the switch or the router, for that case we use the straight through cable. Okay, if you want to connect your computer, one computer to the other computer directly, what cable you need? Crossover cable. Suppose one computer data you want to transfer to the other computer, which cable you will need? Crossover cable. So you have to purchase crossover cable, then you can transfer your all data of the one computer to the other computer. Next is the coaxial cable. This cable is used to the transmission of video, communications and audio. It is mainly used by the cable television industry. Coaxial cable is used by the cable television industry to connect the TVs to the cable TV services. So this cable can also use in the networks and has a high bandwidth. Greater transmission capacity. Coaxial cable consists of a central copper wire. So when you take out the digital TV cable, you will find in the center there is a copper wire, and around surrounded by around the copper wire there is insulation material and a sealed of the braided wire. So when you open it, when you cut the cable, you can see the insulation medium also, and you can see over that insulation medium a braided wire, a small, we can say thin wire mesh like structure is also there to provide the protection, to provide it strength so that it should not break. It is inexpensive and can transmit data at higher rate in comparison to the coaxial cable, that is the straight through cable. It also provides a better immunity against electromagnetic disturbance. Yes, so electromagnetic disturbance, against this you will provide the immunity. Electromagnetic disturbance means, suppose you can say a very a place where the internet is there, where this we can say high voltage current is flowing on, like the transmission lines are flowing on. So when each transmission lines around generates a magnetic field, so that creates a disturbance. So the only disadvantage associated with the coaxial cable is its high installation and maintenance cost. So disadvantage is what? That the cost of installation is high and maintenance is also high. So there is two main types of the coaxial cable in the market. You will find baseband coaxial cable, which supports the transmission of single signal at a time. It is used for the LAN network, baseband coaxial cable, and broadband coaxial cable. It transmits the multiple signals at the same time and is used for longer distances. Next is the optical fiber cable, which is the best cable. Optical fiber is a popular technology and has a large capacity to transfer the data at a very high speed. Fiber optical cable consists of the central glass core. So in the glass, since here the signals travels in the form of the light, so as you know the speed of the light is very high. Nothing is faster in the world than the speed, than the light speed. So we can say no any substances, or we can say no anything is there in the world which is more faster than light. So light has the highest speed. So here in the optical fiber cable, the signals travel at the speed of light, because here the light signals are traveling only. So this contains a glass core. This consists of a central glass core which contain a bundle of glass threads. Surrounded by several layers of the protective materials, the glass threads are capable of transmitting data and converted into the light signals at extremely high speed. Here, with the help of the reflection, internal reflection, this light signals travel from one end to the other end of the optical fiber cable. A fiber optic cable is highly resistant to the signal interference. Here, the the distortion of the signal chance is very less. Here, the mixing of the noise with the signal is very less. It provides a better data transmission by providing the high bandwidth. Presently, fiber optic cable is a popular technology for the LAN network, but in the future, almost all the communications will employ the fiber optics. The disadvantage is what it is, result it is very weak and the maintenance cost is very high of this optical fiber cable. Okay, so this is all for the today, students. In the next class we'll discuss about the wireless media, that is unguided media. So this is all for today. Thank you for your kind attention.